Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time for sketch number 2 for the February 2024 Creative Memories Virtual Crop. And I am going to be working with Sweet on You for this challenge. So let me get things switched over so you can see what I am going to be doing here. Here we go. Here is my sketch. I need to fix my shirt, get it out of the way here. All right, sketch number 2. I am going to be turning this one from the single page to a double page layout. And I'm kind of going to work with some of this, but we're going to put this towards the middle rather than to one side or the other of the page. And I've added some larger photo mats as well. I don't know if I want to say as usual. I am going to use the same page as the base for both sides. I have the brown that has the light pink grid on the back. I'm going to start with the left side of this layout. My accent strips are the pink hearts on the lighter pink paper, and most of my photo mats are the donuts with the lollipops and cookies with the brown stripes on the back. And I will show you what we're going to be doing here. Let's go ahead and start getting some tape on. This strip is 1.5 inches by 12 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and line it up with the right side of the page here. There we go. And then let me bring in my mat. And this paper is kind of directional, so I have been trying to be conscientious with it. I don't want to stick my tape on just yet because this is the side that's going to have our extra large frame. And what I've done is I've taken a little piece of repositionable tape and I've kind of attached it to the back. You can see I wrote actually how large the space was because I wanted to make sure that I cut a piece of cardstock to fit into that space. And I'm kind of looking at this XOXO in the corner here. Hang on. Let me get some tape on this first, one thing at a time. And then, oops, fold that in because I went over my edge of my page just a little bit. So here I kind of want this to be hanging from the corner, but I do need to make sure to be able to get it into one of my pocket pages. So I just want to roughly, not roughly, but kind of line it up here. Okay. It's hard to, it's got kind of this cloud effect on the outside of the frame. So I'm going to look here as well as just making sure I'm inside there. And then I know that this mat is going to be underneath this cookie basically is where it is going to wind up. Just on the corner, and that's okay. I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch along the bottom of our page. And then this is about 1/2 inch here. Whew, there we go. So I'm going to also just put a little bit more repositionable tape along the top here. And then this way I'll know where I want it on the page when I go to add my photo to my page. And like I said, right at that corner, I know I'm looking at these frames here as well. Getting it back up into that corner just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that felt hard. Uh-oh. You know what? It was a little bit hard, but not too bad. And I forgot something. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this back up. The nice thing about repositionable tape is you can pull it back up because I forgot my donut border. So let's go ahead and get that going over here on the left side of our page. I knew there was something else I needed to be making sure that it made it onto the page. There's our donuts. This can go back now where it was because I don't mind it covering the donuts a little bit because I know we're going to have our photos on there too. There we go. Okay. So there is that. So we have our donuts, we have our strip, and I actually also do have a couple of our chocolate covered strawberries. And since we have our other ones here that are already popped up, I am not going to add any foam squares to our stickers this time. Here we go. And these are just going to go kind of down through our pink strip here because I thought we can easily fit another photo right here into this space here on our page, and we can easily fit one here as well. So we can get a vertical photo here, a 4x4 here, our horizontal here, our one over here with our large frame. And you can easily get 4 photos on to this page, and you can even get a horizontal one as well. You can work in between this space here and put it right here, or go with a 4x4. So there's definitely options. I always try to show you some extra suggestions. And let me pull in my right side of my page, and this base paper is directional a little bit. You kind of want your hearts going up and down and not sideways. Oops. Pulling off my other donut here from my sticker sheet to go down the right side of my page. Here we go. And so this is kind of gonna just give us that extra little something to both our pages. You know that they belong to the same layout. I have my other 3 4.5 by 6.5 mats. I had 4 of these total. So just in case I forgot to tell you, on the other side of the page, these are all 4.5 by 6.5. But first, I also have another one of our 1.5 inch by 12 inch strips. So I went with that little bit of a larger mat because of using the extra large frame on the other side of the page. And I think I forgot that. Hopefully I remembered to tell you all what that opening was, that I'd written notes on my frame, but I will let you know that in a minute when I pull the other. Well, actually, let me let you know now while I'm thinking about it because I don't want to forget. So I'm going to just pull it back in right now. So the opening on this frame is 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. I cut a 4x6 piece of cardstock to go under it. And I mean, I easily could have left the brown, but I just wanted to show you all what it would look like with something else behind it. So my cardstock is 4x6, so I can even cut a smaller photo to fit in here, or I can put a full size photo as well. There's definitely options with this side of the page, but there we go. So at least I didn't forget to tell you what is happening with that. And let's get some tape runner on our other mats, but I just wanted the sizing to be a little bit balanced, and since that frame was so large, that's partially why I went with the larger mats for the rest of this. So let's get this one on first. And again, I'm leaving about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of the page when I'm putting this down. And this paper is also somewhat directional. It's kind of interesting that things are going in all kinds of directions on these. But if you look, most of the hearts are going to be going upwards, I guess, if you will, with the points towards the bottom. And I'm going to overlap the pink sheet just a little bit here on this right side of the page because I want to add this "I'm a Sucker for You." Isn't that a Jonas Brothers song? I think so. But this one is going to get popped up on the foam squares because it's going to go in between our 2 photos on this side of our page. And I do love all the different size foam squares we get to pick from now. It's kind of fun to have that choice. I definitely am not cutting as many, except for occasionally I am pulling out my foam tape a little bit more. So here is our I'm a Sucker For You, just going in the middle of these two. But by popping it up, it also helps it so our photos can slide under there as well. And then our third strawberry is going to come in, and I need to double check which direction I put these other ones because I did have kind of a flow to the pattern. Pull this off, put this on. Okay. And then I get to show you both pages together, but I also do want to get this on, and then I will hold this right side up to the camera as well for you. So on this side, it doesn't have as much extra space for an extra photo as this side, but you can if you have a skinnier one, or what I would almost do, and I probably should have, but I just didn't think of it until right now, which sometimes happens to me when I'm filming. I think of these things. Cut a sheet or cut a piece from your either your white cardstock or an index sheet and just put it in right here as a journal box. Look at that. That actually might be perfect. And I will put that in for when I do the thumbnail. I'll just cut this right here. It's going to be, what is it going to be? Looks like, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4.5 inches by 2.5. So it's going to be 4.5 by 2.5 for your journal box down here. And then, like I said, put a photo here, put a photo here. You can easily put a photo this way if you want. There's options, definitely options. And here is our sketch again. So you can see what I did was I took kind of inspiration from this, putting our donut border on the outside, but I liked the idea of having something a little bit wider through the middle here, although I think I took the inspiration for that from this, because this says this was 3.5 inches, but I did 3. So I did 1.5 on each side. And then I just did the larger mats throughout instead of having these smaller mats, because sometimes it's harder to, you don't want to cut your 3.5 inch photo is really small. So I like having, that larger space. It gives you more options. And if you do trim down your photo, then you just have a larger mat. So that's it. This one is done as well. I will be back on again soon with number 3. I do have all of mine done and mapped out and ready to show you all. So I'll be back on again pretty soon. Until next time.